We've released a new update to Vyssuals, and we've been working on 3 main areas, all to streamline the user experience into a more consistent shape. The first thing is there is now an integrated 3D viewer that's always visible. So when we open Vyssuals, you'll see that we always get this 3D view here on the side, and that makes it much more performant for large Revit models. And just easier to filter. The second one that I wanted to talk about is the cloud features. So previously we had a difference between models and channels, and that has been combined now into a unified data model, which is called cloud models. And as before, you are starting by selecting or creating a project. And then from there, you'll create a new cloud model. And the cloud model is the container where you upload model versions to. And then to look at those cloud model versions or to share them with other people, you make workspaces. So you can really distinguish what you want to share with whom, who needs what update, what version do they need to get to keep everything really nice and tidy. So we'll make a new cloud model. Let's say demo model. And we'll leave the main workspace as it is. You can always use the current canvas layout to push that up, but for now we'll leave it at the default. So I'll say create cloud model, and that sets up the container, and into this cloud model container we can now upload our first version. And I'll do that by clicking the upload model version button here. And this is similar to what we previously had on the channels, where we had versions that just keep the history forever. I'll call this version 1. And now you can choose what workspace you want this model version to show up in. Again, to make sure that some people get a certain version of a model and other people may not get that. So in this case, we only have one workspace, and we'll make this model version available in that workspace. Say upload version. We can now open the workspace. And this is going to look very similar to the local Revit connection now, and that's on purpose to streamline everything, make the UX more consistent. Okay, so let's say you want to get feedback on this model from someone, and you want them to propose changes. So first thing we'll do is we'll create a table where we want people to input data into. This is kind of what the channels features was previously. And I'll just add the fire rating here as an example. So to share this workspace with an external person now, you come over to workspace settings, then you say add external member. I'll add that, and it's listed as a collaborator, which is a person who is able to propose changes to the data of the model, but not make changes to the canvas layout or to the charts. And then you can say share this workspace. That gives you this URL that you can send via email or Teams or however you like to that other person. And now I'm going to open up a new incognito window so we can see how this other person would access that. And I'll paste that link into the browser and log in with that other person's email address. Say, send me a link. Take that email link from the mail, paste it in here or click on it. And now you can see that this person, since it is a collaborator, gets a much simpler view on the model, very similar to what the channels used to be. To make this suitable for external consultants, you really just need a 3D view and a table or project managers. And yeah, in here, they can propose changes. and maybe say this is not 180 minutes, but this is 80 minutes. They can add comments to this one. Say, not sure yet. That's going to add a comment here. Yeah, and then once they're happy with their changes, they say send for review. They give this a title and say my changes or something. And that's going to lock editing on this snapshot for them. And now we can come over to our local Revit tab here and come over to Cloud Models. And you can now see that in our demo model, inside the main workspace, we have one pending change attached to Cloud Model version 1. And it is ready for review. And when you click on it, it brings up those changes, gives you the preview, and look at the changes that were proposed. And you can say isolate changes to look at only those that have changed. And if you're happy with all of those, you'll just approve them and then send them to Revit. Wait for Revit to accept the changes in the background. Okay. So, and now you see that the button down here says mark proposal as reviewed. This is an extra step because it is your responsibility now to actually make sure that you have synchronized the changes to the Revit Central file, for example. So the software here doesn't automatically assume that you're done with a review. You, as the reviewer, say, mark proposal as reviewed once you're done. Say, mark reviewed. And yeah, when you're done with this review, you can say exit review here, and that brings you back to your local Revit canvas. Okay, so that's kind of the round trip now for channels. You can, at any time, look at all your cloud models by coming to these Manage buttons here. That's going to open this different view where you, on the left, have a list of all your projects. Inside of each project, you'll find your cloud models. And you also see that on this demo model that we just worked on, we have reviewed one change. And when you click on that, you'll see the version that is inside this model. If you upload more, they'll show up here. And also when you click on a cloud model, you'll see on the right-hand side that it shows you the workspaces that are attached to this cloud model. And again, you can see what version is available in this workspace. And to demonstrate this a little bit further, let's just upload a new model version to this demo cloud model, and we'll say version 2. And this time we're not going to make it available in the main workspace, so we'll just upload it to the cloud. Say upload version. And you can now see that the latest version is version 2. And when we come over to, where is it? This guy here, and we refresh this, you'll see that the demo model now lists 2 versions, but one of them is grayed out. And that is because it's not used in any of the workspaces. If we click on, if we add a new workspace here, which we can do, we can just say, yeah, new workspace. We'll create this one. You see that when we have this one selected, all the versions are grayed out, which means that none of these versions is available in this new workspace. And we can add that by just clicking on this little arrow. We can add that here as well, or remove those from this workspace again. So this is kind of just assigning what workspace can see which version. All right, and the last one of the changes, this one is a smaller one, is with regards to automations. So previously the automations were just scattered on the canvas, and now they are containerized inside an automation node. So from the top right corner, you can say automation. It brings up this container here, and then you can click on this 0 nodes edit button. That gets you into the edit mode. And in here, you have a little description of what you're expected to do. So for example, here's this model input, and let's say you want to take the type name and for whatever reason, put that into the comments. So you'll select these two parameters so that you can work with them. Take the table preview to just quickly check, okay, you have those two columns selected. And then you'll take, let's say, a formula and choose the output column as being the comments column. And then we'll just use the type name in the formula. So that's going to route that to the comments. And we'll connect that to create changes. And in here, we have to say, okay, from this incoming data, what do we want to compare it against the actual model content? And we'll say comments. And you can say review changes. And that is going to bring up this review mask again, where you can see, okay, what is the stuff that would change? What was the old value, the new value? You can go in and override changes or reject some of them. And when you're happy, but send all those to Revit. And to get out of this mode, again, you can either go back to the automation, or you can completely exit this review and come over to the canvas again. And now you have a little summary on this automation node telling you how many nodes are in there and how many changes does this automation produce.